We're live.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Junior portion of the show. And thanks for tuning in. And all the boys are back in the studio, and I'm back in the vacation home studio. And
Sandcastle.
yeah, everything's been going good. We've had a great show so far. Had a lot of fun. Talked to Kyle Larson a little bit about his win, but also about Iowa coming up. He did the tire test out there, and there's some patchwork on the repave that's pretty interesting. But anyhow, the Ask Junior is brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. It gets you the speed you need on or off the track. It's the fastest mobile service with 5G and millions of Wi-Fi hotspots. And nationwide coverage that'll always come through for you in a clutch. Make the switch today and save with Xfinity Mobile. They're a proud premier partner of NASCAR and a great supporter here of the Dale Jr. Download and Dirty Mo Media. So thank you, Xfinity. So anyways, good to see everybody. Going to interview Mario Andretti for our guest segment this week. Good Lord, that's going to be cool. And so excited about that, but also excited about these questions y'all got today.
Yes, this first question is from Scotty, and we have just finished round 2 of the Denny Hamlin bracket challenge. How is your bracket holding up after that?
My bracket has destroyed completely.
Completely screwed.
Completely destroyed. Like I'm out.
You're done?
Out. Yep.
No one left?
So nothing. Yeah. I mean, I had Denny winning it all. I guess when your
tough.
winning it all guy goes out,
Yeah, that was me
over.
A week ago with
It's over.
Truex.
Yeah, it's over. This is fascinating because last year I kind of went all the way to the end, or close to the end, I guess. I had somebody kind of in contention all the way to the end. And in college basketball, which is the only other comparable thing that I've ever done to this, I've always kind of been in the hunt, at least till the Final Four. And so with this, though, your guy can inexplicably be knocked out in one of the early rounds. And man, I'll be honest with you, I really don't like it. I really ain't happy about that, obviously. And so going forward, in all seriousness, NASCAR is going to have this tournament. Imagine, what this would mean for sports books, for drivers that are going after this monetary reward.
Oh yeah.
Should this ever become something that would give you a automatic, round 1 bye in the playoffs, or become something that was implicating on the playoffs? This could get pretty dang cool. I think it could be pretty colorful and exciting for the middle of the season. So I'm looking forward to that. And I think that, I guess my mind's cranking away at how do you fit that into the broadcast, right? How will Amazon and Turner want to weave that into what we already do in a typical broadcast for a race? So that'll be pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, my bracket's destroyed. And I probably, while there are many of you who are still clicking along, watching, I will be wishing you the best, but I'm out.
Wait, I proudly predicted Logano over Hamlin, so that's my one claim to fame.
Pretty smart by you.
Thank you. Yeah, but Truex got eliminated the first round. He was my champion, so that's where my intelligence ends. We have one sole leader at the top of our bracket challenge with 770 points, GIAG Warrior, who is Larson winning it all, 15 out of 16 in round 1, 7 out of 8 in round 2.
Damn!
That is pretty damn
amazing.
Impressive. Like, I looked at their bracket. They somehow knew Noah Gragson was going to upset William Byron, and Logano was going to beat Hamlin. Like, that is, I don't know. Yeah. That's impressive stuff.
They might need to go through tech.
Yeah.
I don't know how you pick Gragson over Byron at a road course, right?
Right, exactly. But we have Logano, Keselowski, Elliott, Gragson, Buescher, Chastain, Larson, Reddick. Those are the remaining matchups for the bracket challenge going into Iowa. It's going to be fun to watch. Let's see. Moving on. I have my questions all over the place today. I'm sorry. I've got it on like 3 different sheets. Here we go. I found one of the questions. I need to have a better organization system here. This question's from Lewis, and it's about the ongoing charter talks. Jim France, and this is from a great article everyone should check out that Ryan McGee wrote on ESPN. Jim France has reportedly told teams that NASCAR can't offer permanent charters because, quote, we can only support you as long as we're being supported by media networks. Like, what are your thoughts, reactions to that?
My first thought is that I wished Ryan McGee did more articles about racing because the guy is fantastic.
I know.
The best.
I hate to share him with the sports world, but he is one of the best at what he does, but also a really cool dude. And it's awesome to hear that nugget, man, because that was one of the things that we knew the teams were pushing hard for, and probably one of the things that was stalling the ultimate like agreement. And to have Jim, we haven't heard really much from Jim, certainly not a direct quote. And so to hear Jim come out and say that, like, hey, I read a lot of the quotes in that article, and I've said it on the show, my favorite NASCAR was the Bill France Jr. NASCAR. My favorite NASCAR was when Bill and his father ran the sport the way they thought it should run. And they were so clever in how they would negotiate with the teams and how they would help the teams understand their position. And so McGee says as much. Hypothetically, he can hear Bill France Jr. telling the teams, we took something that you said was worth nothing and made it worth something, right? And so, this is as far, Jim's basically saying, this is as far as we can go. They can't build this bridge to nowhere because there's no guarantee that the media rights will always be this lucrative and that the TV deals, will last forever. And there's no roadmap in front of us that says, man, this is where we're headed in terms of how people will consume our races with streaming coming in. And we really don't know where the value is. NASCAR is spending millions of dollars on production, building the giant building in North Carolina to try to create all of their own content. My hope is that one day we'll have a NASCAR channel, kind of like Speed Channel or MAV TV, but the NFL Network has their channel. I'd love for NASCAR to have its own channel that created all of its own content, showing old races and all of the daily shows that we love, race hubs, and all of those things can live there. And so NASCAR is making this massive investment in itself. And they understand, like, they can't I see Jim's point, and I hope that the teams can move forward and agree. But I also think that there'll be other opportunities down the road to bring that argument back up. The teams are always going to want to make the charters permanent. If I owned a charter, I would certainly be telling you right now that I want my charter to be permanent. And so, when the deal gets renegotiated down the road, however long this new agreement will be, the teams will have a chance to argue this again. So it's not like, it's not like the end of the road in terms of this conversation around making the charters forever. It just might not happen. It just might not happen this round in terms of the new charter agreement.
Everything seems to kind of, obviously as it should, come back to money when it comes to the charter conversation. And Denny kind of took a stance last night and tweeted that he said permanent charters don't cost anything. in response to this. Do you agree with Denny on that, or do you disagree? Not to pitch you against him or not. Just want your take on it.
Well, I think what NASCAR, I would have to get further into the conversation to understand, but I believe if the teams get permanent charters, then NASCAR is obligated to support those charters through the agreement, giving them that amount of money per race that they're allotted to get, right? And getting that guarantee. Well, if TV rights just up and went away, right? You don't know for sure where the TV rights are going to be in 5 or 10 years. You just don't. The way we consume content changes so rapidly. Where will we go to find places for our races to live in 10 years from now? I mean, did you ever think that, all these networks would be switching over to streaming platforms? Did you ever, we look at I know this is getting out in the woods, but look at how we consume music today versus how we
Completely
used to
different.
years ago, right? Yes. Yeah, so, I mean, you got to be careful.
Right.
NASCAR cannot guarantee and depend on those hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars always being there. Now, if they could, if NASCAR knew for eternity we're going to make hundreds of millions of dollars on TV, they would probably be more comfortable making the charters permanent because they can then financially support the agreement forever. But until they can financially know that they can support that agreement, I don't know that they can make that commitment, right? And so I can see both sides of the argument. I promise you, if I had a charter, I'd want it to be permanent. I would not want the risk of losing it, but or whatever. But I can also see NASCAR's side of it, and the traditionalist in me really likes when Jim France, similar to his brother, knows what he wants, knows what he can do, knows what he's capable of doing, and puts it out there in front of you and says, this is the deal.
Yeah, definitely a lot of interesting things to follow. We got time for one more question here, and this kind of ties a little bit together. This one's coming from Max. Did you have a favorite memory from, Race Hub? I think is actually today is their big finale show. Favorite memory from Race Hub and just overall reaction to it moving away?
I don't remember doing a bunch of Race Hub shows, to be honest with you. I will say this. I worked on the NBC side, and we had our show, Racing America, on the Sports Net, NBC Sports Network. It was fun to do that show, and I knew what numbers that show brought in. They were decent, good numbers. I knew the numbers that Sports Hub would do. They were good. It's enough viewership to there's good demand for this show, right? While Race Hub goes away, something will take its place. And they'll, same as anything else, is when there's demand for this show, there's demand for daily NASCAR content, and someone, whether it's NASCAR and what they're producing or creating with their own production company in Charlotte or in North Carolina, there, someone will bring a daily show back to network or cable television, and maybe multiple. So we just have to be patient. But I know it's probably very emotional for all of those people that are involved in that show at Race Hub and at Fox. And there's a ton of turnover and change, and you hear a lot of things going on in terms of a lot of people are losing jobs. But I would not want to. I don't envy that group having to create that final show And I imagine that's going to be a pretty difficult thing emotionally.
Yeah, no, definitely. There's a lot of super talented people on the Race Hub side. I'm gonna miss Radioactive. That's gonna be my big thing.
Yeah. Well,
and you've had some features on Radioactive, Dale.
I know. Yeah. The one thing that you did say is they're talented and they'll land on their feet.
Yeah,
they will.
Well, until something comes back, we've got Dirty Mo Media.
We do have some Dirty Mo Media content.
Shows coming out every day, but Friday and Saturday. So get your fix here.
All right, that's a good place to wrap up Ash Junior this week.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well out there. We're certainly doing good. And again, want to thank Xfinity for supporting us on Dirty Mo Media and the Dale Jr. Download, and they've been a big supporter of Ask Junior for all these years. Thanks for sending your questions in to their Twitter handle. And, if you haven't tried Xfinity Mobile, you might want to switch over today. Great coverage, 5G, and hotspots all across the nation. You won't be disappointed. We'll see you.
All right, sweet.